Hi, I'm Jill Galloway. I'm an artist educator at the National Portrait Gallery and a full-time artist with J.J. Galloway Studio. In today's Drawn to Figures lesson, we're talking about flesh tones, or how artists mix skin colors when they paint. This lesson could be one of those lessons that can be very simple, or it can have many layers of learning. We're going to start with the very basics today and look at how we mix colors to make flesh tones, not the kinds you buy right out of the tube, how you mix them to make the right colors of skin. Okay, let's get started. For today's lesson, we'll be looking at mixing colors with oil paints and focusing on the art of Rose Frantzen. Frantzen is an especially skilled artist that uses an alla prima technique, which means she applies the paint wet on wet without letting layers dry. In Italian, alla prima means at first attempt. Now, when you first start mixing flesh tones, it's best to start with just a few colors and get comfortable with those mixes. Let's start with the primary colors of red, yellow, and blue. When you mix those three together, you get a base color. Adding red, yellow, and blue to each of those base colors and then degrees of white, you get some great flesh tones. As a side note, when you mix paint colors, there's two very important comparisons to consider. Does your color need to be lighter or brighter? Does it need to be darker or deeper? When you want to make a color lighter, you just add stages of white. Or darker, you add black. But to make a color brighter or deeper, you need to mix other colors to adjust the hue. The conversation you're having with yourself when you're mixing flesh tones is, does the mixture need to be cooler? Then you'd need to add more blue or green. Does it need to be heated up, which means you'd add more yellow or red? A really great way to practice mixing your colors is to take a photograph and lay a piece of clear plexiglass over the photograph. I'm using my copy of Portrait of Maquoketa, which was published by the National Portrait Gallery to go along with the community's exhibition. You can see how many pages I've tagged here. I use this book all the time as inspiration and reference in my work. Try mixing the colors and then place little dots of the colors down on the glass over top of the face to see how far off you are. Then you can ask yourself, does it need to be heated up? Does it need to be cooled off? Once you have a handle on that simple set of mixtures with just the primaries, start adding more colors. In the beginning, it can be overwhelming when you're trying to figure out your color mixtures. So I found that making a chart kind of like this, where I could reference it, helped me a lot, and then I used it less and less as I began more and more familiar with the process. Two of my favorite mixes are alizarin red mixed with cadmium yellow and permanent rose mixed with cadmium yellow, and then you just add white to each of those mixes for more colors. Remember, the difference between dark and deep and light and bright becomes really important when you're mixing colors. So for example, to make something just lighter, just add some light and make the color itself lighter. But to make something brighter means adjusting the hue, and that means mixing colors. The same goes for deep and dark. Just to make something darker, you just can add black or a brown. But to make it deeper means richer or in hue. That's when you're going to pull out your red, green, and purple. If you play it safe when you're mixing your colors, your art will look muted or overworked. Go crazy and scale it back if needed. When you're done practicing, just take a paper towel and wipe off the glass and start again. Here's a selection of a few more of Rose Frantzen's portraits from the community's exhibit. To learn more about our past exhibitions, you can go to our website and under the Exhibitions tab, just click on Past Exhibitions and you can see all the shows there. You can also go to our YouTube channel to watch Rose Frantzen give a talk about her community's exhibit. Thanks so much for joining me for today's Drawn to Figures lesson. Mixing colors is definitely one of those art skills that just takes lots and lots of practice, and you will get better and better the more you practice. So keep trying, keep playing with those colors. I would love to see what you came up with today. If you wouldn't mind posting your art on social media with the hashtag MyMPG, then we can all check it out. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.